And Congressman Schiff, Jill, says a Trump indictment is overdue in the January 6th investigation. Take a listen.
I would hope that the special counsel will reach a conclusion very soon, because I think they've taken way too long to get to where they are. We're now more than 2 years since those events, and we need speedy justice.
Jill, I think when we talk about this idea of a stress test, we talk about the fact that you're dealing with an unruly player, you're dealing with the dynamics of the 2024 race. You're also dealing with the fact that there are multiple cases happening in multiple jurisdictions, and it is all a lot, right? There's this question of whether or not DOJ, our justice system more broadly, was built for the amount of incoming that we are going to see in the next year or 2 years.
It probably wasn't, but it wasn't built for the crimes that are being committed by one person. It is going to be difficult to schedule all of the trials that Donald Trump will face. Aside from the New York trial that's already the indictment, there's a civil case, there's the E. Jean Carroll case, there's Georgia, there is the ongoing Mar-a-Lago case, which may also have an indictment in New Jersey, and there is January 6th. You don't get a pass on committing crimes because you've committed other crimes. If you rob a bank and kill someone the next day, you don't get a pass on the murder because you robbed a bank the day before. So I'm afraid he's going to have to deal with all of these crimes, and the courts can handle them. They will handle them, and they will be done based on the facts and the law. And that's where he fails. He can't persuade people in the courtroom without putting in evidence. And so far, there is no evidence. There are no defenses that are legitimate to the accusations that are facing him now. We've analyzed all of the possible defenses, and none of them will hold up in a court of law for the Mar-a-Lago case. I think that will lead to a conviction if we can get it to trial quickly enough.
Joyce, before I let you go, I have about a minute left, but I want to circle back to something Matt Dowd said, which was this idea that it is more likely that Trump loses in court than loses in this election. Matt Dowd sees that as a political strategist. You see it as a former U.S. attorney. Is that your assessment as well?
So I think the important thing to think about here is that Trump, if he wins the election, has some control over the outcome in court. He can either try the infamous self-pardon or find someone who will help him shut down the investigation or the appeal that's going on at the Justice Department. I think that's his winning card here. As Matt says, the case against him is strong. There are always variables, and it's tough to prejudge whether or not there will be a conviction. But it's that political hold card that gets Trump across the finish line, and that's what makes the 2024 election incredibly important to anyone who believes in accountability.